Hello, Ansbach. I'm Command Sergeant Major Chris Carbone, your Garrison Command Sergeant Major. And today we're here on Shipton Concern, home of the 5-4 ADR. Today we're going to talk about life of an incoming soldier if you're assigned to the 5-4 ADR. And I'm here with my friend Albert, who's a part of the housing division in the Army Barracks Management Program. So if you get assigned here, you're going to live in what is called a 1+1 configuration. You're going to have your own living quarters, okay, and you're going to share a common area latrine with your neighbor, okay, a shower and a bathroom, all right? You're also going to have your own refrigerator and your own microwave, all right? So as we talk about this in some more detail, I'm going to hand it over here to Albert, but I'm going to ask him a couple of questions. So Albert, if we move into this facility, how do I put in a work order if I've got something broken in my room?
Well, currently, Sir Major, all work orders are done through ARMA, both for UH and Army Family Housing. ARMA is the Army maintenance application. You have to go in and set up your own account. Once you set up that account, you can do all your work orders from priorities 1 through 3. No emergency work orders are done through ARMA, but that's for Army Family Housing and for the barracks as well.
So let's just say that I have a water leak or something, that my toilet is overflowing. Is that going to constitute an emergency work order, or do I need to put that through the ARMA app?
That particular one will be an emergency work order because you have a water leak in a toilet, and that's only one person usage. So that's an emergency. Now, if it was just a drip from a sink or something, that would be a priority 1. So you put that into ARMA, but ARMA is just for priority 1 through 3.
Fantastic. So now let's say if my light bulbs aren't working, or I need to fix my shower curtain, do I need to go through the ARMA app, or is there another way that I can remedy those deficiencies in my room?
Well, Sir Major, you don't need to, but you can, because it could constitute a work order. But for those type of applications, simple enough, we have a thing called the self-help store, where you can pick up light bulbs, shower curtains, paint, things of that nature. If you're mechanically inclined enough to change a light bulb, we recommend you go to self-help and get those things. The self-help store is also used for the Army Family Housing. They can use it for everything from paint, light bulbs, electrical stuff, wall spackling, just numerous usage there.
Right, I'm pretty sure you can get some Drano from there. There's all kinds of things that you can get. And that is a fantastic resource that we have here. If I've just moved into the barracks and I want to paint my room, something maybe other than white because I want to spruce it up a little bit, can I do that?
So it's authorized at your own expense. You can go out and buy any color paint you want, as long as the command is good with what color you paint the room. The only issue we have is it has to be white upon time that you're here or you're leaving.
And so,
black white.
Fantastic. So when I go to leave, if I go to the self-help store or I get my unit rep, I can get that white paint and then paint over the color that I chose, as long as when I leave, it's back to its original color.
That's right.
Okay.
So I mean, that's exactly what I'm saying. And I think when you look at it, every room, standard paint is white.
Okay.
But you can, at your own cost, at your own expense, out of your pocket, paint whatever color you want, as long as your command is good with that color.
So I think it's something new, as we talk about maintenance, that's new to soldiers as they move here, which is ventilation. It's a little bit different here in Germany than it is in the States.
True.
Can we talk about what soldiers need to do when it comes to ventilating their rooms?
Well, again, mold is big here in Europe because of the humidity and all this stuff. So they should ventilate by opening up the windows, but also in the bathrooms, after a shower, they should run that vent to make sure they take all the moisture out. If they run into issue where they do get mold, you can still pick up some mold cleaner down at the self-help store too.
So I think it's just very important for our soldiers to know they've got to ventilate their rooms after they've taken a shower. They need to make sure that their vents are on within their bathrooms, and that, if they've got to replace the filter, they can do that as self-help as well. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And so another thing we'll just kind of talk about real quick is, storage space. And as you can see here, we've got a little bit of storage, but a little bit goes a long way. And I think for everybody that moves here, they got to understand, you're going to have limited storage, but there is the ability to have a little bit more. And,
True.
I think for our staff sergeants, they need to understand this may be the amount of storage that you get upon arriving. So, I think that's important for our
It's important to bring it up about staff sergeants because, again, the transition from stateside to Oconus, their expectation has got to be understood, because coming here, they understand they could be in a situation, this could be a room for a staff sergeant. We're trying to accommodate as much as we can, but this could be his or her room. So with that said, I think that's a good point for the staff sergeants to understand coming to Germany.
Fantastic.
So I'm going to tell you, here in Europe, because of the humidity, we should ventilate our rooms and our residence, not just in the barracks, but even in housing. They should open the windows. But also, when it comes to taking a shower, after they take a shower, they should run the vent to make sure that the humidity is out of the air. With that said, if they run into issue where they're not on top of taking care of the ventilation, they could have a growth of mold. If that's the case, they can always go to self-help and get the products to clean it, but they have to stay on top of it.
And I think it's just important for us to know that it's a little bit different here than it is back in the States, and we got to properly ventilate our rooms. We've got to make sure the fans are working in our bathrooms,
Exactly.
that the vents, the air filters are properly cleaned. And if I do need to replace my air filter, can I do that at self-help as well?
Self-help has the HVAC filters as well, yes.
That is fantastic. The self-help really does help our soldiers and families.
Yes, it does, Sergeant Major. It's a good resource.
So, I know we talked that we have, a microwave or refrigerator, but if I'm a soldier that moves here and I want to cook myself a meal, where do I do that?
Well, Sergeant Major, the configuration here on Shipton is that on every floor, there's a kitchen dining area. So the soldiers that want to cook a full meal, they can actually go into the dining kitchen area and cook a full meal.
So, and what does that dining area have?
It has a stove. It has a water source with a sink, but it has a stove, a complete dining setup with 2 tables and normally six chairs.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So, as we talk about soldiers coming into Shipton Kaserne, can we talk about, ranks that are required to live in the barracks?
Well, that's a good question. Sergeant Major, E6 and below are barracks requirement. This is what they can expect. E6s have to understand coming here, you are barracks requirement. This is what you get the same thing as lower enlisted. With that said, we try to accommodate as much as we can because we're concerned about quality of life when it comes to soldiers.
Well, I think that brings up the bigger point of just, sponsorship and how important it is. Because as a staff sergeant to a private E1, this is the barracks room that you're going to get. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, Major. This is it.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Albert, for showing up today and teaching us a little bit about the barracks life. It is the best hometown in Europe. Thank you, and thank you very much, Albert.
Thank you, sir, Major.